Hey everyone, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour. I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
And we are here today with a good friend of mine, our guest today, Zac Clark. Zac, welcome to Bachelor Happy Hour.
I can finally cross it off the resentment list. We only run together once a week, and I've never been asked to come on your damn podcast. So here I am.
Well, I mean, I don't do the casting. So.
Yeah. We're going to blame that one on producers.
It's weird.
I'm joking.
I mean, to interview you is a little strange because we are good friends, but we also talk all the time.
Right.
So I feel like I know a lot, but maybe our audience doesn't.
Or maybe you'll learn more today.
Maybe I will learn more today.
I'm here. You can ask
about that.
I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful to have you guys in my life as friends. So all good.
Okay, Zac, what have you been up to lately? What's new?
What's new? Leaving Sunday. I don't know when this will air, but I'm leaving Sunday to run the London Marathon as part of the nonprofit Release Foundation, which will be fun. And then shortly after that, we have our gala in New York City every year, which you guys came to last year. That's all in the name of, helping people who can't afford to get behavioral health care services. So substance abuse and mental health, which is a huge passion of mine. Other than that, man, there's a whole nother side of that, which is my livelihood, the business Release Recovery, which we operate in New York City and up in Westchester County. And we've just been growing. It's been amazing to see. We're helping a lot of people. Like whenever I'm on one of these podcasts, I always just say, if you're feeling alone and you don't have anyone to talk to, please reach out to me. We'll respond and we'll get you the help that you need as it relates to substance abuse and mental health. And outside of that, man, like I'm trying actually to slow down a little bit. I just run too hard. So,
well, you run all the time, actually. A few things to what you said. Serena's not going to be able to make the gala, but I will. Just FYI, just
I'll be there in spirit. I'm actually bummed I'm missing it.
But she's not going to be
for
in
those
town.
listening. It's like a really fun party, which maybe isn't what people would expect when they hear about a charity gala.
But I will be there.
Yeah, I mean, like that's an important thing, though, Serena, that you said that. It means a lot to me because, like, when you think about charity galas, you think of, a lot of them I've been to are kind of boring to a certain degree.
Yeah, white tablecloth, banquet hall,
We have a party, and that's by design because I feel like when people get sober, they have to stop drinking, which I did 13 years ago. They're convinced that their life is over, and then you walk into a room like that, and you're like, "Holy shit, people are partying here." So.
And you do have, and for our listeners, at this gala, you do have alcohol. So if you do drink, it's an option.
Yeah, and that's by design, right? Like,
why make? I was just going to ask you, why make that choice?
Well, I think there's a lot of energy that goes into when someone gets sober, other people have to change their behaviors. And I think that's actually the opposite. For me, when I got sober, I wanted the people around me to feel like they could continue to live their life however they were living it. And actually, I've been able to do all the things in sobriety that I was able to do when I was drinking, go to games, go to events, go to concerts, all that stuff. And so we want to show people who are asking for help or who are getting sober that they can go to an event like that where other people are drinking. They can get through the night sober and they can have a good time.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's an important message because even like when you and I first, like we had met, but then like when we started hanging out and I saw you running on the West Side Highway, you said to me like, yo, if you guys like go to a bar and do something, like, let me know. And I think in my head, I probably thought like you would feel uncomfortable going to a bar, not knowing, just being ignorant to the entire space. So I found that interesting.
I mean, we've talked a lot about, that was awesome the way that we ran into each other. I feel like it was meant to happen when it was meant to happen. Like I was at a point in my life when I was like looking for guy friends. I can say that honestly. And it's been, nice to build a relationship with you the last couple of years. And that's true. Like, I think people who don't understand this thing would assume that I don't want to go to a bar and watch a game or I don't want to be around alcohol. And it's actually, for me, my whole life is recovery, my work, my person. So I actually enjoy going to places where there's alcohol because I get a little bit of the secondhand smoke and that energy, It's
yeah.
The secondhand smoke. Yeah, no, I feel like I've had friends one of my best friend's sisters, I remember, was dating someone. She started dating someone who was sober just by choice. Just decided to remove alcohol from their life, and she was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I don't know if I can date someone who's sober. Like, I like to go out, I like to have fun, I like to party, and like her experience was really positive. And I think that that's like on a small scale, like a way that someone broke the stigma in her life around what it means to be sober. And I feel like your, foundation and the party that you throw is kind of on a bigger scale, a way to be like, hey, like life isn't over when you stop drinking. I feel like it actually even inspired you, Joe, to drink less. Like, you will now go out and order a mocktail. When we first got together, like, you would never have done that.
Yeah, no, I drink way less, and I actually feel so much better. Like, I had a non-alcoholic beer for dinner last night, and I enjoy them more than I enjoy beer with alcohol, because I don't get as full or feel as, like, my head doesn't get as cloudy. I have a question for you, Zach. When it comes to non-alcoholic drinks, if you're somebody that struggles with substance abuse when it comes to alcohol, do you feel like that's still somewhat of a temptation or could trigger some people?
I go two ways with this thing. I think there's some beauty in the healthy alternative and giving people an option and to feel like they can fit in by having a non-alcoholic beer or a mocktail that maybe people think is a cocktail, right? I know of cases where that, yes, has triggered people to go out and get drunk because it's so close to that taste that they remember and something goes off in their brain. So for me, anytime someone's newly in recovery, I kind of encourage them to shy away from the mocktails early on, and then kind of maybe you graduate to that. I don't drink them personally just because I just like the taste of a club soda with some cranberry juice and a lime better. That's just me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think there's a whole movement happening, which you're seeing, which is people aren't getting sober. They're just understanding that alcohol is not the best for you. So they're looking for healthier alternatives. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, there is, and I know there's like a big trend right now. I think it's more of a West Coast thing, but a lot of like bodybuilder gyms are now carrying like non-alcoholic beer because like the carbs in the beer are actually like, I guess your body's craving that after.
Didn't Equinox have it when we went in LA? Or was that just when we were talking about it?
No, I think I was talking about
it.
Okay. Let's talk
the last thing I want after a workout is to crush an IPA. Like that's insane.
I agree. Zach, let's talk a little bit about Grant's father. How did that relationship begin between you and him?
Yeah, Rob, man. So, I mean, these are the stories that you just can't make up. And I'll say this, and you guys kind of know this. I have not stayed really well connected in the Bachelor universe, which is not by design. I actually have zero bad things to say about my experience and my time. And I met so many beautiful people. I kind of got back to my life and here I am. But the thing that I still know from that experience is, I mean, I had it this morning. A guy called me to go speak at his company's event. And he just said, my daughter saw you. She's sober. She says, you have a great story. And I'd love, so like to this day, that is still the thing that people know about me, I think, from that experience or know is a big part of my life, which is why I try to be loud and proud about the work that we do. And so this world, I mean, there has been, multiple cases of people that are in this Bachelor world that have reached out to me confidentially and have asked me how I got sober, or what I was doing to stay sober, or how my journey started. And I feel like I've been able to be a resource for a lot of people that I haven't and won't share publicly because that's not my place. It's their story to tell. But with Rob, it was really interesting. So Rob ended up in a treatment center that we have a really good relationship with out in New Jersey called Alina Lodge. He was basically at the end of his time using and asked for help. And those folks who know me know that I'm kind of connected to the show. And so he ended up going to a little kind of sober living program in New Jersey after going to rehab. And it was at that time that someone connected us and said, you need to know Zach because he's, affiliated with the show.
Part of
He
that
was-
world.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he reached out to me, man, and he was in a lot of pain. Like he was in a lot of pain. He was at a point in his life where he was having to move on from the environment he was in. He was well behind payments on his sober living, and so he filled out for a scholarship through the Release Foundation, and we were able to get him the ability to access some funds to pay for his sober living and get up to date with the payments. So the money you raise, Joe, when you run the marathon for us, and Serena, when you always support Joe and come to our gala, like that, those funds went towards helping him. And it didn't matter that it was Grant's dad. Like I didn't give a crap about that. Like it was just someone that needed the help, right? Like that's the moral of the story. And then we got to talking, and I started to talk to some of the people that were involved in his care. And I just said, does this guy need a job? And it turns out he needed a job and a place to live. And so we have at Release Recovery, which is where it gets a little confusing. We have the nonprofit, and then we have the more for-profit entity where we're doing treatment and we're getting people the services they need in-house. And so he interviewed, and he showed up in a suit and tie, and this guy's, he's a character and everyone loves him. So, we ended up giving him a job, and now we're kind of on this journey together, shoulder to shoulder. It's been an amazing transformation to watch him kind of become the man that he is today.
Finding the right mental health care should be simple and affordable, but for many, it's not. Long wait, social stress. More than making therapy for you, based on youla.com/Hexplanon, Aetna contact your doctor right away. Talk to your doctor, visit Next.
Translate English broadcast subtitle. Upskilling utilizes AI.
Celebrating friendships. Whether you're hanging out, share a Coke with all your favorite.
Free. Plus, there's no prescription needed.
Years.
Do you celebrate? Like, do you do something to month of Opel at opel.com?
How many years have you been sober?
August will be 14. So
14 years.
Do you celebrate? Like, do you do something to commemorate it?
it's different. It's different every year. Sometimes I like to kind of look inward and kind of just not. I mean, here's the thing. I put something out on social media, and typically people engage with that, and it becomes a bigger thing than probably, the reason we celebrate in sobriety is to show the next person that it's possible.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's really the reason you celebrate. For me, I know that I've been given a life beyond my wildest dreams, and this bizarre experience of going on this show has helped kind of enhance my ability to help people.
I was going to ask, 14 years ago you turned sober. When did you start Release from that point?
So we started late 2016. Late 2016. So we've been at this thing for, I guess, like 8 or 9 years now. It's crazy.
Wow.
I mean, it's been 5 years since I went on the show, which is wild. I mean, like time is just moving. When were you guys? You guys were on. I mean, Joe, you were on like 6 times, but
yeah, I was on before you, and then I've been on after you, and I don't think I'm going on again. But yeah, no, times.
What year was the first year you went on when you went on?
2018.
That's wild. I was on. Well, I was the season after you, Zach. So it's been 4 years. For
were you Matt James?
5 years. 5 years.
I was Matt James. I was Nema Collins. So we had just finished filming when the season you were on was like wrapping up.
Yeah.
Like in terms of airing. But it feels like not that long ago, and also like a million years ago. I feel like my life has changed so much in that 4-year time.
Oh yeah.
From like when I first went on to now.
Well, we're in Montreal right now. Serena's going for her green card, so
my interview
is
tomorrow.
I'm rooting for you guys. I mean, like, look, I think you guys are kind of like the gold standard. I mean, I know you personally, right? Like, I know you somewhat intimately. Like, you were at my birthday dinner, and we hang out and we share meals, and it's like, for everyone else, like what you see with them here is what you get in real life. I mean, you guys are just two of the best. It's a fact. So
thank you.
We're all right.
Can you, for our listeners, break down the difference between, because you have the foundation and then you have release recovery.
Yeah.
Can you just break down like the difference between the two, and if someone's looking for help, like why they might go to one versus why they might go to the other?
So nice that you're asking me this. I always feel bad. I don't know why I have this weird thing promoting myself. I mean, some people are so good at it and so comfortable with it, and I just
I
get
mean, we could pivot and talk about your experience on The Bachelor.
No,
you want to go to night one? Do you want to talk about your limo entrance?
Night one, I will tell you about night one. Night one, I don't know who it was, but like they're like, "What do you want to do when you get out in the limo?" I was like, "I'm gonna get out and say hello." I was like, "Guys, I think your time's probably going to be better spent, convincing someone else to jump out of a plane or some shit, because I'm just going to say hi."
Is that what you did?
Yeah, it was Claire. I mean, Claire is, I'm so happy that she's happy. It's amazing. I literally got out. I said hello. I forget who, I know Dale was in my limo. I think Blake. I don't know. It's crazy though to think about. Yeah.
I had the same experience. I did the same thing. I said, like, I'm gonna just say hi. And I remember the producer that I was speaking to at the time was like, "Okay, are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, just have something to say." I'm like, "I got it." And of course I fucked it up, but I kind of wish because I'm like you. I'm like, I'm not doing no gimmick out of limo, but like I kind of wish I did.
It's a bit of a crutch when you have
when you have something.
Well,
What'd
it's
you
okay.
do?
It'll work out for you.
Yeah.
All right. I did like a baby gimmick. I did a step stool because Matt James is like 6'5" and I'm 5'1". So I did like I brought something to like get on your level so we can see eye to eye, and like made him like help me on the step stool, and then I stepped down, and yeah, it was cute. It was cute. It was easy. I was glad. I'm like not I mean, I can chat, but like I was like I don't want to come out and like have a speech. I don't know. I was like, I'm gonna get nervous if I'm just gabbing, so I wanted like a little prop or something to rely on, and it worked out. I thought it went well.
Yeah.
But all right, let's pivot back
We
to
gave
your
Bachelor
self-promotion.
love, right? We did our duty.
We showed Bachelor some love. We could always circle back later. Let's promote your business first and give people more insight into what it is.
Yeah.
So the long and short of it is, like, I started Release Recovery, which is we started as kind of high-end, highly structured transitional living for people coming out of rehab. So they go away for drug and alcohol or mental health treatment. They come back to New York City or Westchester County, which is just north of the city, and they live with us for 3 to 6 months, and we help them, get back to living a purposeful life. And so that's obviously evolved, right? The first thing we did was in late 2019. So really, like, right before I went on the show, we kind of looked at what we were doing and said, we want to help more people, right? We want to broaden our ability to help more people. And that was going to be through some nonprofit work. So we started the Release Foundation, which is today we raise a couple $1 million a year. And that money goes towards scholarshiping individuals from communities that otherwise could not afford treatment to call us or, write us. And we run like a very brief kind of financial check on them, and they do an application. But as long as they can prove to us that they require this funding, we will write the check and help them go away and get the help they deserve. So that's been awesome, right? Like, that's been really cool. And that's a lot of the stuff you see me doing on social media with the marathon running and the gala and some of the other stuff that you guys have been to and participated in. And then the other side, which is, and we don't really send money from the nonprofit to the for-profit. There's a pretty firm line there. But the for-profit, the recovery services business today, we have about 100 employees, right? And so we're operating in New York City and Westchester still. And we still have I'm sitting in my office here in Flatiron, which is a couple blocks from where you guys live. And, we really specialize in helping our clients and our patients and our families, heal from mental health and substance abuse challenges, which, today are just ravaging our country, right? People are alone. People are not doing well. And so they come into our care, and in Westchester is where kind of my chief medical officer and our clinicians and a lot of the therapy is done. But we still have 60 some odd residential beds throughout New York City and Westchester. And so what I tell people, like, no matter who you are and where you are in this process, if you want help or if you have someone in your life that wants help, you can call us or DM me, which I try to get back to. And I guarantee that we will, if it's not with us, find you a safe place where you can start to heal. And so it's been a wild ride. I mean, watching the growth over the last year, we've kind of hit another level. It's been really cool. And so I'm the CEO and founder. I mean, I'm not working as hard as I was probably a year ago, but I'm working differently and just trying to help this thing push forward.
What if you struggle from not substance abuse, like let's say like a gambling addiction?
Mm-hmm.
Could they come to you guys as well, or is it just solely like struggling with substance abuse?
So we see a lot of what they call co-occurring disorders, right? So someone might come in with a substance use disorder, which is a kind of a nicer and softer way to say drug addiction or alcoholism, right? A substance use disorder. Mm-hmm. And they might have like a secondary, which is a process addiction, which gambling falls into that category. So we see a lot of that. There's sex addiction, there's food addiction. So a lot of times it's kind of like whack-a-mole, right? Someone might have the substance use disorder under control, but then all of a sudden you'll see them gambling a lot or whatever it might be. And so we do see a lot of that. My sense or my bet or my gamble, for lack of a better word, is that gambling in 5 years, we're going to look back on this conversation and you're going to say Zac was right, because I think that's kind of the next thing that you're going to start to see really impacting our country in a negative way. I mean, I think like I'll hold up my cell phone. Like I always laugh because parents work so hard to get their kids into the nicest schools and keep them safe and all that stuff. And then they pay for them to go like hang out in the most dangerous, neighborhoods in the world, which is the cell phone, TikTok and all that stuff. I mean, there's just so much, and you can gamble on your phone. So I think it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, to answer your question directly, I mean, if like someone calls us with a gambling issue, we will see if we're the right fit, and if we're not, we'll get them into the right program.
And you have those connections to, send them somewhere else? Nice.
Yeah.
Let's talk about sex. Actually, let's talk about pregnancy, plain vaginal bleeding, cause heart attack, stroke, or death, especially if you smoke or have other risk factors.
By upscaling for Samsung Vision AI.
Second, for threats to your identity, use promo code IHEART or go to lifelock.com.
And estrogen free. Plus,
with 4 skin conscious category on your skin as it is on the.
And I got. Let's pivot a little bit to, because I was lucky enough, you invited me to run the New York Marathon with you 2 years ago and last year as well. And I got sick, motherfucker. I was so pissed. I was like, everyone's going to think I'm
sad.
Everyone's going to think I'm faking it. But you have run now how many marathons? 15?
15 is this weekend or 16 is this weekend? 10 New Yorks, 2 Londons, a Nashville, and Grandma's. I think this is 15 this weekend.
And this weekend is London. You're doing London.
Yeah, this is 16. This is 16.
You're doing London this weekend?
Yeah, Sunday.
That's so exciting.
What is the London Marathon like?
The best. Flat, great crowd, point to point. You drive like way out of the city and then you kind of just run back in. But I mean, all of these marathons, if you're listening, and forget all my spiel on behavioral healthcare, like running is all like those I mean, you felt it when you ran the New York City Marathon. I mean, those crowds are insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, the energy in the city was amazing.
So
did I get a picture, Serena, that you're running?
Yes, I started running. I've been
run.
on 3 runs. All 3 were horrible. Every second was suffering. But one of my best friends is starting a run club in Toronto, and their first run is this coming Friday. It's her and her boyfriend. They're both in incredible shape. They're both like workout instructors and personal trainers. And she's actually not really a runner, but he is. He just did Hydrox, actually, which I don't know if you know what that is, but
crazy.
It's like, yeah. anyway, I really wanted to go support her. And that doesn't mean like I'm going to be running at the front of the pack, but I was like, I just want to be able to get through like 4 or 5 kilometers, even if it's like a walk run. So Joe.
She's Canadian.
Oh, Miles. And Joe was like, I'll take you for a little bit of a run, and he's just helping me like pace and stuff. I mean, Joe's thing was like, let's run 7 miles today.
No, but I'm
the
not.
first run, he was like, let's keep going. I'm like, I have to get home. I have to run back.
No. You're doing really good. But
Thank
like
you.
we ran like a mile, and then I was like, okay, let's see if you could. And stopping and going and breaking up, and let's try to get 2 miles. Let's try to get 3 miles, and then slowly let's build the 3 mile.
My last
range.
run, I did like a pretty good 2 miles up to Central Park.
And we did. Yeah, we ran uphill. Running up to Central Park's running up a somewhat of a steep hill.
So we're working. I don't think I'm going to be a marathon runner, but I'm happy to be a part of the running community for a little bit.
Right. I love beginner runners because you'll look back on this conversation. You will run a marathon, or you will run a distance that you never thought you could run. It's just the way that these things always go.
I mean, that's what happened to me when you saw me running on the West Side Highway. Like my max run at the time, I don't think I ever did over 5 miles. And I would say I was probably running an average of like 3. And you're like, are you going to run the race? I was like, what race? And the marathon, I was like, I doubt it. And then, 6 months later, I ran the marathon. So, but I want to ask you.
So I just got to tell people, hold on you, Joe. This guy, for people this guy's a sicko because he acts like he just ran the marathon. So he tells me he's going to run the marathon. He trains a little bit, right? Like just here and there.
Truly a little bit. Well, because it was the year of our wedding, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the year of our wedding.
Yeah.
And you had a wedding like that Saturday or something. You flew in like late Saturday night. And you're like, I think
Tia Booth's wedding.
Yeah. So our wedding, for those listening, was that September. So we had our wedding and our honeymoon. So September, you like barely ran.
Yeah.
And then October was whatever. And then I remember the weekend of the marathon was Tia Booth's wedding. We flew to Nashville. We went to her welcome party that Friday, flew back Saturday, and then you ran the marathon on Sunday. And I remember my dad calling, being like, I'm a little worried about him. Like, is he going to be okay? Like, he has not trained that much. And I was like, well, we're going to find out.
So this dude goes, I'm going to run a sub 4. And in my head, I will be honest with you now, it's like, there's no way. Like, there's no way. And you bit down on the mouthpiece, and would you like 358? Like you got it done, which was like,
I just got it.
Unbelievable.
By the skin of my teeth.
Yeah, no, I was very impressed. You have great endurance.
But I did. That's the point, and that's Zach's point too. Like I didn't have great endurance. Like it's just like just running. It's
I know, but I mean, I would say there would be people that have trained a lot more. Most people trained a lot more than you and ran it not as fast as you. Not
sure.
saying that. Like,
but then there's people that really go. Zach runs it close to 3 hours.
Yeah, well, Zach's an animal. He's running all the time.
Question. So when you go out to somewhere like London, right, and you guys are doing the marathon, how does that relate to, like, how is release recovery incorporated in that race? Like, are you guys part of that at all?
Yeah, so we're really lucky. We have 25 bibs to the London Marathon, which means we have a team of 25 people. I am one of them, going over to London or are in London, which is a hard race to get into from a charity perspective. And each one of those runners will raise a minimum of $5,000. So if you do the quick math, that's like $125 some odd $1,000 that's being raised for the nonprofit through these efforts. And then a lot of those folks will go above and beyond that. So these events are key for us. And I'll say, like, the donations, whether it be $1 or $5, $10, $100, like, they all matter and they all make a difference towards our ultimate goal, which is to help as many people as possible. Like, I'm not going to go on my like insurance industry and all the issues there rant, but there's not enough good healthcare available for people like me.
Yeah.
Nice.
If people want to donate, where can they go?
So it's Release Recovery Foundation.
JoeMobley.com.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's joeandserena.com and at happy hour. No, it's releaserecoveryfoundation.org. You can also I always say, like, DM the Instagram, which is just Release Recovery Foundation. You can DM me. Like, we're pretty good we got people watching kind of all the channels to get back to folks that want to support us. I'll actually probably be posting something this week about my efforts this weekend. And like, it's just, we broke some stones on this call, but it is really meaningful for you guys to have me on here and to talk about this stuff because, I don't know why people will listen. I'm sure just because they love you and the show, but it's an important thing to be talking about right now.
And you recently, well, I think at least it's been about a year. You started a podcast, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
The Zac Clark Show.
Let me tell you something about that name. We went to try and like find some names. So like people in the office have been pushing me to do it for a while, and I finally kind of caved and we put it together. But we went to name like there are no names left. I mean, everyone's got a podcast, as we know. And so it's like, we're not going to try and get creative here. Let's just throw my name on it. And no, the purpose of that or the goal there is like, we have real conversations with real people that have either, been in my shoes and come through it or have a powerful, story or testimony or our resources to people that listen. So my demo, I always say, is like, I get a lot of mothers that listen and then we'll write in and then we help them, try to navigate whatever it is they're going through with their children or husband or whatever it is. But it's been really powerful and we've had some cool moments from that.
What is one of your favorite episodes that you've done so far?
I just recorded with my dad yesterday.
No way.
Oh, yeah?
Wow.
Yeah.
How was that?
Joe's met my dad. Joe's had cheesesteaks with my dad.
I
met your dad too. He was at the gala last year.
That's right. Yeah. You guys sat at our table.
It's not cheesesteaks, but we had sushi.
Yeah. My dad's the best. I mean, he's just got so much knowledge and wisdom and, everyone's really scared about what's going on in the world. And I think to have someone that's been on this planet for 80 some odd years to tell us that everything's going to be okay is powerful. And he's just my dad, and he's seen me, with a needle in my arm, and he's seen me today. And so he's probably just grateful to be able to kind of talk about it.
Does it feel weird having like that kind of intimate conversation with a family member and then like putting it out there at all?
Yeah.
I guess it's an ironic thing to say considering I did like hometowns on The Bachelor, but it's a little bit,
And we are husband and wife, and but I guess we don't really have we don't have intimate conversations.
It's a 30 minute to an hour unfiltered kind of conversation with your dad.
I mean, I think that's part of my place in this world for whatever reason. I mean, I'll tell Joe to go to therapy. We'll get him, Serena. Like we'll push
one day.
But I believe that, and like, look. I don't know how you guys approached it. And I think that was like to bring it back to kind of some of the stuff with the show. Cause like you guys know, like the question you always get is like, was it real? Like, was it a real thing? I'm like, pretty sure it was real. Like for me, it was real. I just showed up and I was kind of who I am. And that's kind of,
it can be as real as you want it to be.
Right.
And
that's my point.
As real as you are, really.
As real as you are. Yeah.
And that's my point in all these conversations. I mean, even this one here, like, I feel like I'm just hanging out talking to you guys. Right. And so, with my dad, I mean, like we got there a couple moments of, some gusto, but you'll have to tune in. There I go.
Nice.
Promote it.
There you go. Tune in to the Zac Clark Show.
Anything you want to talk about? Personal life? Anything else? You're busy. You're working. You're running marathons. What else? Anything? Golf? You're a golfer too.
Yeah. Well, we're doing that. Joe and I are going. It's Wells, it's Ben Higgins, I think Joey.
I think so. Yeah. I don't know the exact crew going, but yeah, it's Ben Higgins. We're roommates, so I know you're going.
I don't snore.
And Dean too. Dean.
He does a little.
I don't know Dean. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good hang. What else is going on? I mean, look, man. Like I said at the beginning, I'm trying to slow down a little bit and make some more time for me. I definitely travel too much. But my life is like, I'm happy. I'm a happy guy. Like all is well right now. Life is good. We're going to play a lot of golf this summer. We're going to get better at golf. We're going to take Serena out to some nice dinners and we're going to enjoy life a little bit.
Nice. Thank you so much for taking the time coming on our podcast. Wish you well in London. Are you trying to do some record score, or are you just running? Are you chill?
I mean, you always go for the record, don't you? It's not always, doesn't always happen. I mean, my
That's
best
because we're sick people.
Yeah, my best is a 3:12. If I end up under that, I'll be happy. Party.
Nice.
Cool. Good to see you.
And to all our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to Bachelor Happy Hour. Make sure you download and subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah, go listen to the Zac Clark Show, donate to his foundation release, and be sure to continue to tune in. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Resolve to earn your degree in the new year in the cities with WGU. With courses available online 24/7 and monthly start date.
And be sure to continue to tune in. Thanks for listening. Bye.